I'm specifically speaking to us and about who we are and how do you maintain the sense of self while pushing it forward and holding us to have a responsibility for our actions. Because in America, it is what it is. And there's a solution for us. If we had a power base together, it would be a much different conversation than me having a conversation by myself, trying to change America by myself. If I come with 40 million people, it's a different conversation, right? It's just how it works. I can affect change and get whomever in office because this many people, we're all on the same page, right? So as a conversation, it's like, I'm not Rich, I'm OJ. For us to get in that space and then disconnect from the culture, that's how it starts. This is what happens. And then you know what happened? You're on your own. And you see how that turned out. Okay. That's why that's
the line.
Yeah, the pregnant pause. It's like, okay.
Was it a reminder, too, that the thing OJ forgot, maybe? Is that as rich as he was, as entitled as his life was, he was reminded very forcefully when he became the subject of a racial debate that he was also a black man, whether he accepted that or not.
That's right.
Was it also that message?
Yes, absolutely. And for us, like I'm saying, to speak to that point is, don't forget that, because that's really not the goal. The goal is not to be successful and famous.
Right.
That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that.
Right.
One. And two, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal. Until we're all equal on this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free. And that's just the fact.
When you are as amazingly successful as you are, your kids will live in a very different world from the world you grew up in. How do you go about making sure that they understand the world you grew up in?
There's a delicate balance to that, right? Because you have to educate your children on the world as it exists today and how it got to that space. But my child doesn't need the same tools that I needed growing up. I needed certain tools to survive my area that my child doesn't need, being growing up in a different environment. But also they have to know their history, have a sense of what it took to get to this place, and have compassion for others.
Right.
The most important thing, I think, out of all this is to teach compassion and to identify with everyone's struggle and to know these people made these sacrifices for us to be where we are and to push that forward for us. I believe that's the most important thing to show them, because they don't have to know things that I knew growing up, like being tough. Like,
do you worry at all that as much as you will teach them history and as much as you yourself are seen as an important figure among black people in America, that there's something they'll be missing? Or do you think that's silly, in fact, that they have so many advantages that that's like too negative a way of approaching?
Exactly. Like they'll be who they are, right? And it's just certain tools that you would hope for your child to have. You know, like, again, fairness and compassion and like empathy and a loving heart. And those things translate in any environment. Those are the main base things that you want.